Hey, this is John Martinez with Midwest Revenue Group, and we work with and train sales teams from across the country how to sell more, do more deals, and do it all with far less effort and while maintaining pretty healthy margins. A lot of the business owners and sales managers and VPs of sales that come to us do so because they've run into a problem. They do lots of trainings themselves with their sales teams. They might even strategize on very important sales calls. And on these strategy sessions, they'll talk about, here's what we need to ask, here's the information we need to uncover, here's the tactics we're going to use, here's the ways we're going to communicate. And they go through everything that should be done on these important sales calls. But the thing is, once they get into that sales call, most of that stuff seems to be just completely abandoned. And I totally get it, right? When the spotlight's on you, when everything's on the line, when you're kind of in the heat of battle, you get away from what you're supposed to do and you fall back on what's comfortable. Now that's natural, that's absolutely normal. So if you're experiencing that with your sales team, it's like 95% of the sales teams out there. So let me talk about why that actually happens. It's kind of like this. I want you to imagine that you wanted to learn about karate, that you were preparing for a match. And I don't even know if it's called a match, but let's just say you're preparing for some type of karate tournament, no martial arts experience whatsoever. And I want you to imagine that the way you prepared yourself was by getting various books on karate and reading and looking at diagrams and pictures and really learning everything you could about karate. Well, I want you to think, what would actually happen if you then walked into the ring or the match or whatever it's called, and you try to take on a black belt? Well, most likely you really get your butt kicked, right? Because even though you knew a lot about karate, and you might know different strategies and techniques and have read through and even strategized and talked through a lot of those, what you probably haven't done is actually gone through the movements. There's no muscle memory. Everything you were doing you would have done for the first time. And instead of trying to fall back on what it was you read, you probably would just go into autopilot, protect yourself, swing punches, kick when you could, and just do whatever you were comfortable with to survive. So this is exactly how it is in those sales calls. What you need is muscle memory. You need as real of a life situation as possible to practice. And you need to practice. Again, real world scenarios, or as real as you can get. So when you are in the heat of battle, everything just becomes muscle memory and you do it really without even thinking about it. So here's what you can do today. Here's what you can do right now to start getting better results. And if you're experiencing anything like that, salespeople not doing what you've talked about or practiced during strategy sessions, here's what you can do. Go ahead and start taking some of the meetings that you otherwise would have turned down. Take some of those leads where you say, hey, they kind of fit what we're looking for. We might be able to do business with them, but they're not that great of a prospect, so we're going to turn them down. I want you to take those leads and actually start running those appointments. And the reason I want you to do that is this. This is how you practice. This is how you get in the ring. This is how you spar. This is how you build up that muscle memory. And you can do it in a situation where you don't have everything on the line. The spotlight really isn't on you. It's just a nice, safe way to practice that's as close to the real thing as possible, because really it is the real thing. They're real customers, real questions, and it's a real opportunity for you to practice without feeling like you might be sacrificing a sale if you do something new. Now, this is awesome, because the worst thing that can happen is they tell you no. Well, you would have written off that lead anyways, so it ends the exact same, but now it ends the same, but you have the practice, right? You're building up that muscle memory. What occasionally will happen is you'll find that there is a fit, and you'll gain a new customer you did not expect to gain. That's definitely an added bonus, right? Doing deals and getting paid and making sales for your practice. The best thing that can happen is both those things. You get really, really good at what you're doing, and you find a great customer along the way, and you monetize a lead that you otherwise would have thrown away. So hey, if you found this video valuable, if it resonates with you and your sales team, if you know any business owners or sales leaders who are struggling with this issue, training and doing strategy sessions with their reps, but just not seeing it come to fruition in actual sales calls, please share this video with them and enjoy the rest of your day.